like the video.
This is the full story of how I was laid off right before Christmas. Then a week later, my old job hit me up asking for help. And this story concludes with a heated call with a CEO of my old job's company. I wouldn't believe it if it wasn't happening to me. I hope you enjoy.
Derapy, Season 3 of Derapy.
So every single week, I have this meeting with my boss. We'll just call her boss. We have a one-on-one 30-minute meeting every single week, right? They're always chill. She seems like an actual human being that cares about me as a fellow human being. Now, her and I had our weekly one-on-one meeting on Tuesday,
December 3rd.
Okay, we talk about meeting up in the next week, the next time we have our meeting, to set goals for 2025, right?
Psych!
Wishful thinking. 2025 and beyond, we have this great chat. There's literally no issues. Now, what's painful to recall about this conversation is that it was a perfectly normal conversation. And at one point, I distinctly remember asking her, hey, you're in some meetings that I am not in, some higher up meetings. Are you ever having conversations about me? Are people ever asking about me because, I'm like your subordinate? Do people expect more from me? Have I been doing what I need to do? Let me know. You would let me know, right, if there was something I needed to do more. And she's like, yeah, of course. Nobody's talking about you. You're fine. So I think I'm fine. Wouldn't you think you're fine? I mean, I thought I was fine.
He was not fine.
Now, she does let me know that there's this recruitment video that they wanted to update for our company's YouTube channel, because I basically work for a company where my entire job is just managing our social media: Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all of it. I post content, I moderate it. So her boss wanted me to create this recruitment video for our company, said they wanted it done by December 6th. And guess what? I had it done a day before. I sent it to her. I CC'd her boss. I thought it was cool. We're cool, right? So that weekend, Saturday, December 7th, we have this little crazy incident in Chicago. I'm not gonna lie. One of our people decided to call a random civilian out of their name for really no good reason. Said random civilian messages our Facebook saying that we wronged her. We called her ugly for no reason. I don't know why we did that. I wouldn't have done that. I was just at my apartment. But the point is, that is my job. I handle her message. I apologize personally on behalf of the company. Zero tolerance for that. Can I get some more information? Who is this? What do they look like? Where are you from? Where are you going? What's happening, right? I informed my boss about it. She's like, thanks for letting me know. We hand it over to upper management. They take it from there. My boss says I did a good job. Thanks me for informing her. For all intents and purposes, I've been given 2 tasks the past week. Everything's been fine. I asked my boss if there's anything else I need to do. She says no. I feel like everything's fine. Now, I want you to remember these things because apparently that shit did not matter at all. So the title is not clickbait, okay? Here's what happened to me. This past week, I wake up. It's Wednesday, December 11th. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I'm on the can, okay? The sun just came up. I've stretched, I've done my push-ups, and now I'm trying to push something out. It's 7:19 in the morning. I get an email to my work email saying I've been removed from our Facebook and Instagram page.
What is that?
Why? It's like mad early. It's like barely 7 o'clock in the morning. Why is this happening? Now, I don't usually start work till 9, but this is like a pretty big deal. This is within my purview, okay? Maybe we've been compromised. Maybe we got hacked. I don't know. Now, it tells me who removed me from our pages, and it's somebody that's very high up in the company. We'll call them Jeffrey. So first things first, I call my boss. She doesn't answer. I'm like, that's fine. It's early. I text her, say, call me ASAP. We may have been compromised. I get no answer, right? So I'm like, how do I resolve this issue? The place I'm most active on my job is on our Instagram, so I got to figure this thing out. Now, the message I got wasn't from somebody directly in our company in this email. It was from Meta Business Manager something, okay? What a terrible way to start the story of you being cooked. I didn't even hear about this from anybody in my company. They got snitched on by Meta Business, okay? So I take this email that I received, I forward it to the guy who it says removed me, Mr. Jeffrey, okay? And I say, yo, was this on purpose? Was this you? Was this us? Is everything okay security-wise? Now listen, I'm not dumb, okay? Me getting randomly removed from our Facebook and Instagram at 7 o'clock on a Wednesday morning. I'm like, one of two things is happening. Either we're hacked or I'm cooked. There's really no in between. So I'm kind of like bouncing back and forth between these ideas with my wife and with my brother, and everybody's telling me to just stay positive. Why should I assume that just because I got removed from 2 accounts, I'm totally cooked, right? But like I said, I manage more than just our Facebook and Instagram. So I go to our Twitter and I see that I'm logged out too of our company's Twitter. And I'm like, and I go to our company's YouTube. I'm logged out of there too. Now at this point, I'm like, all right,
You're done for.
I'm cooked. But I'm still in disbelief, right? Because why wouldn't my boss tell me? There's no way these people wouldn't tell my boss if they were firing me. Like, they wouldn't just go behind her back, would they? Because they have to know that I'm going to wake up panicking when I'm logged out of everything. Spoiler alert, these people don't give a fuck. Now, I'm still trying to remain optimistic. There's no reason for me to assume that I don't have this job anymore. I literally haven't done anything wrong. In fact, the last time an incident occurred, I handled it well. The last time I was given a task, I handled it. The last time I asked if I was doing okay, my boss told me to my face that everything was fine. Why should I believe that I'm getting cooked on a random Wednesday morning when the sun's barely up, right? So here's what I do. I send the email that I got from Meta Business to Jeffrey. And I'm like, yo, was this us? And he sends me the most cold and suspicious email of all time. And I'm going to read it to you. So I said, hello, Jeffrey. I just wanted to reach out and make sure this was you and there was no mistake. With peace and love, Derek, social media specialist. This man responds to me, CC's my boss. Now, this man is very high up in the company, and when he sends emails, they are very detailed and personable and straightforward, but also he has a signature at the end with the address, with the email, with the phone number. This is the email that I get back from this man, okay? Yes, all security good, my friend.
That does not sound like a person.
So at this point, I'm like, oh, so we did get hacked, and he's been compromised too. Huh? Now, most people might see an email like this and be like, oh, it's not a security issue. But like, I met this man. I just went on a work trip to Los Angeles, looked him in the eyes, shook his hand, took pictures and video of him. And now I'm getting this cold ass email. So I'm like, oh, the good news is I'm not fired, but we did get hacked. So I call my boss again. She doesn't pick up again. I'm like, that's weird. That's suspicious, but I gotta keep pushing. This is my job. This is our company's accounts. I don't know what's going on. So I reach out directly to the man who created the position for me, the person I reached out to personally about the opportunity. And they tell me that, like, they actually respond, first of all, through text message. And they say, oh, we just Jeffrey's just trying to get back into all the accounts. I'll call you in a bit. Spoiler alert, this is like the highest person in the company. We'll call them M. M says he'll call me. He never called me. I think, in my opinion, they were trying to stay buddy-buddy with me, stay cool, because I'm the social media guy. I could turn up on them. I could disparage the company. I could say wild things. I need to cooperate with them to help them get in these accounts. But also, you would think this man would have the cojones to tell me that I'm cooked. But no. He's, oh man, don't worry about it. We're just trying to get into the accounts. I'm going to call you in a bit. He never calls. He still hasn't called. So I'm like, okay. At this point, there's like a 80% chance that I'm cooked, right? But I need to wait for his call because maybe he can explain everything. Maybe it's not a security issue, but it's just about like something that was posted. They're investigating something. Maybe it involves me. I don't know. But what's still suspicious is at this point, it's been like an hour and a half. It's around 8:39 in the morning. I never heard back from my boss, who I, again, assume cares about me on a human level. I haven't heard anything more from Jeffrey after that suspicious ass email that convinced me that he'd been hacked. And then I hear from the number one guy from Big M upstairs, and he says, they're just trying to get into the accounts. Security's all good. I'll call you in a bit, man. It's going to be fine. Nobody has given me any indication that I am about to get my position eradicated from existence, okay? Everybody's trying to act like everything's all cool. And then, if you work in like a company, an organization where you send emails back and forth, where there's a lot of virtual correspondence, tell me how you would react to getting this email that I'm about to read you, okay? This is when I know it's over. At 8:59 a.m. on Wednesday, December 11th, I get an email directly from HR. I never get emails directly from HR. And it says, "Hi, can you please join me for a Zoom meeting at 9:15 a.m.? I have never been asked to join a Zoom meeting 15 minutes after receiving an email from HR. Wallahi, I'm done." I'm done. And I'm just flabbergasted. Because, again, I had a meeting with my boss the week prior. She said everything's fine. I was asked to deliver on something, and I delivered it, and we had an incident, and I handled it. And nobody has ever given me the impression that I needed to get my act together, that my job was on the line, that there was any type of notice, that there was something that I was missing, there was something where I could have... Nobody ever hit me with anything. These same people sent me to Los Angeles a month ago. What the fuck? But don't worry, it actually gets even more stupid. So I have this HR meeting with this woman via Zoom that I have never had a face-to-face conversation with before. And despite her job being like the head of HR, you would think that she's very used to firing people. I understand that, like, on a human level, right? I'm just a person, she's just a person, and somebody probably just sprung on her, "Hey, we're gonna fire this dude for really no reason. Can you hop on and hit this dude with the worst holiday news possible?" So she gets on the call. We'll call her L, which I think is appropriate. She starts talking to me, trying to build rapport, okay? The company that I work for, its foundation is pitching, right? It's a company about fundraising, so you're pitching people. And I feel like she's trying to build rapport with me before she closes on me, but the close is telling me that I'm about to be unemployed. So we begin this conversation. She says, "Good morning." I'm already pissed off. It's not a good morning. It's been awful. I don't know what's going on all the way up until I got this email 15 minutes ago where I knew exactly what was going on, but I had no idea exactly why it's happening. But before we get to that, she wants to tell me, "Good morning?" Maybe for you, L. So she starts talking to me about the holiday season. She's just shooting the shit. Oh, I'm going to remember this specifically for the rest of my life. She starts talking to me about how chaotic holiday season is and how she has these kids and she wants to make sure the kids get gifts, and she wants to make sure that some kids' gifts aren't better than other gifts and people don't get more gifts than the other. And I'm staring directly into her soul with no reaction or response for these words she's saying, because she's talking to me about purchasing Christmas gifts when she's about to cook my livelihood. What the? So eventually she realizes that, like, I'm not enthused by this holiday talk, and she's like, "I actually do have some news." And I'm like, "Oh, for real?" No, actually, bro, really? Like, seriously, dude? Look.
Where?
I'm not mad at her specifically. She has a terrible job. She has people that make way more money than her tell her that she has to be the bearer of bad news. By the way, I don't even want to get into all the reason that my job doesn't exist anymore, because do you know what she told me? She said they're going in a different direction. Oh, bro. Insulting. I'd rather you guys tell me that I sucked at the job, or you found out that I was using the company laptop you gave me to create podcast episodes. Just be real with me, okay? Tell me I wasn't good enough. Tell me that it doesn't make business sense to continue paying somebody like me. It's fine. But don't talk to me about your kids' Christmas gifts and then tell me that you're going in a different direction.
Wing Wong.
What's even more awkward is that she tells me that she had a conversation with my boss this morning. Where is my boss? Where is this woman? What is she doing that's more important than, facilitating the transition towards my demise? But regardless, I got cooked. I got cooked right before Christmas, These people tried to go in and log me out of all my stuff in the wee hours of the morning because they had no idea how quickly my bowels start each day. And I caught them because Meta for Business sent me an email at 7:19 in the morning. Their execution of trying to transition me out of this position was so awkward and weird that I actually thought we were getting hacked. No, these people are just silly. Their HR doesn't know how to fire people without talking about the joy of Christmas. My boss is like completely inactive. Maybe they had her tied up somewhere, held hostage, so I couldn't get in contact with her. The man that gave me the job is trying to butter me up by promising me a phone call where he explains everything that never happens so they can get into the account. By the way, the reason why this happened is because I set up two-factor authentication through our Instagram because I didn't want us to get hacked, but they needed my approval to let them into the account that they could kick me out of. It's whack, okay? It's such a whack situation, and I'm not even super... The thing that I'm most annoyed with is not being let go. These things happen. Companies don't care about people, and they let them go all the time. It's just the carelessness with which they did this. My boss gets no heads up. I get no opportunity to be given. First of all, no severance, whatever. That's fine. I mean, I thought salary positions meant something. Whatever. I thought like I was a relatively speaking valuable asset to the company. I get cooked, no notice, no severance, insurance cooked at the end of the month. And I'm jobless. I got nothing.
Like the video.
Oh, how the turns have tabled. Huh? So if you've been keeping up with this show, you know I got laid off last week. It came out of nowhere. No notice. I did nothing wrong. I got no severance. I just woke up on a Wednesday morning and got cooked while I was still on the can. HR said that the company was just going in a different direction. I didn't even do anything wrong. They didn't even tell my boss until the day of. The CEO, him and I, we texted back and forth. He said he'd call me and explain. He never did. He still hasn't.
Wing Wong.
I was getting emails so cold from the man upstairs that like I actually thought we got hacked. My job was as a social media manager, social media specialist, and they decided that my services were no longer needed. I talked about it. I prayed about it.
Yes, Lord.
I consulted with my wife and decided to dive into Derapy full time. For you all.
Me?
But then yesterday, my now ex-boss hits me up, and these motherfuckers
Kind people.
need my help.
Derapy. Season 3 of Derapy.
This is all for entertainment purposes.
So yesterday, my boss texted me at 12:36 p.m. and she says, "Do you know how you can turn off the authenticator on your end? Have you been getting any sorts of pings or notifications for your phone?" Now, this already takes me by surprise because this sounds like work, and that's crazy because I don't work for you anymore. I reply, and I say this with so much respect via text messages. "Haven't checked for pings. Hadn't tried to log into our company's Instagram in days on account of the whole not being my job thing.
Yeah, you sound super chill.
Just logged back in. Shocked to discover that I still can, to be honest. I'll look into it." Now, in case you missed the last episode, I truly don't hold my lack of a job against my former boss. I truly believe that the decision had nothing to do with her, and if there's anything she could have done to prevent it, she would have. That does not stop me from giving her just a little bit of a hard time, because what kind of people would make you responsible or give you the impression that it's appropriate to reach out to me about work things when I don't work there anymore? I just think that's funny. She replies to me saying, "I think it is because of the two-factor. We can't get in." What did Mr. Krabs say that one time?
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
These people really cooked me on a Wednesday, agreed to let my last day be Saturday, then hit me up the following Wednesday like, "We can't get into our own company's Instagram." Well, you know who that would be a great job for? A social media specialist. The sweet irony. She says, "I am honestly not sure how it works, if you can just turn it off, or if you can assign a different phone number. And maybe just because it's December, I feel like I'm gonna just get a little bit cold with it.
I'm gonna let y'all sit with it for just a few minutes or so.
I reply, and I just cannot be more clear about this. With so much respect, I say, the irony of me initially doing this to protect our company's account only to be dismissed from said company coldly and callously is pretty cool. Regardless, I will try to the best of my ability to remove this feature. Bear with me, though. I thought whatever new direction our company was going in would be able to handle this. Nevertheless, I'll do what I can. Now, I think at this point, it probably occurs to my former boss that I have all the leverage and there is really no incentive for me to help them, even though I truly plan on doing it. And she texts me this, which she will go on to say was a mistake. It was the responsible thing to do. I can see if I can contact IG, but figured I would ask him. Now, I believe that she was reporting our conversation to other people that are afraid to talk to me. And she says that she figured she would ask me before trying to get in contact with Instagram to get their company's account back. I immediately love the message, by the way, because I need her to know that I saw it. And she replies very quickly after and says, I meant to say ask you. Sorry, I was getting a phone call and had a momentarily brain lapse typing that sentence. You cannot make this shit up, okay? So at this point, I try to level with the woman because she's clearly stressed out. There's a lot going on. And the same people that cooked me for no good reason might cook her because this is probably her number one priority for the day. Please get in touch with this guy that we just absolutely insulted and just killed their livelihood, and basically try and prey on his goodwill to get our company's Instagram back. I send her this text message. To be transparent, I'm not at home right now. I never thought about how to remove myself from two-factor authentication because I didn't expect to be laid off abruptly. It's probably something I'll need to do on a computer. Truthfully, this is company work. And I should clock in and be paid for it because it's part of my transition. But that's beside the point. I will try and find a way to handle this when I get home. I'm making this a priority only because I don't want you to face shocking and unexpected repercussions because I'm being uncooperative. This woman has her own life. She has her own man. She has her own dog. And just because the people that make more than her are being absolute
wingwongs
doesn't mean that her job should get cooked too. Again, it's really not her fault that I got cooked. She senses a little bit of frustration potentially in my response and says, honestly, Derek, I can also try to figure it out without you. I didn't mean to upset you. I thought it would be easier for you to help on your phone since you had set it up. But I'll just call Instagram and see if they can help me. It really is okay. My brother in Christ, my sister in Christ, time out. Did you just say you can call Instagram? Now, we're all a team here. We're a community. Can anybody please give me an instance where they had an issue with the Instagram application and it was resolved via phone call to a Instagram employee? Look, I'm not here to just dunk on this company.
Are you sure about that?
Okay, but these people think that Instagram is somebody's last name. They can just hit that man up and be like, hello, Mr. Instagram. We completely cooked our social media guy without cause a little bit too abruptly. Would you mind giving us access to our account and just completely bypassing two-factor authentication? Mr. Instagram, could you please just bypass this security because we gave access to somebody that was supposed to have access to it and then we just woke up one morning and decided he shouldn't have access to it? Can you just bypass like the best level of security that you have to secure people's accounts because we screwed up? I know that we gave the responsibility to this person, and realistically, it's a great feature to have because it protects accounts on a level that is almost completely unhackable. The way that the two-factor authenticator is set up for when I was running this company's Instagram is that anytime somebody tried to log in from a new device, they needed to enter a code that was generated in the Google Authenticator app on my personal cell phone. And that 6-digit code changes literally every 15 to 20 seconds. So there is no way somebody else could log into this account unless they were me or they literally had me on the phone with them. Sometimes when I try to log in with a new device, I don't even look back at the Authenticator app quick enough. It is incredibly difficult to log in on a new device. Now, this is probably a conversation that somebody should have had with me before they decided to cook my entire career, but they decided to wait until a week after they told me I was losing my job to try and do this, and my poor former boss is the person that they are choosing to try and get me to help them. It's really sad. And God bless this woman. Maybe most of her issues get resolved via phone call. Social media applications do not work like that. You can't just Google Facebook's number. You can't call Mr. YouTube to get into your account. You have to harass them on Twitter for days with hundreds of people to get a response, okay? So after she tells me that she's going to call the Instagram app, I respond with this. It's no problem. I respect you as a human being, and I don't want you to get cooked by the people upstairs. It's just kind of awkward because my last day was Saturday. You're not my boss anymore, sadly. M said he'd call me. He didn't. Jeffrey sent me a cold-ass email, and it all feels mad slimy. I'm not going to post anything weird on our Instagram. I want nothing to do with it. It's just embarrassing all around that they didn't think about two-factor authentication before ending my livelihood with no consideration. I feel bad you're in the middle of it. Holler if you need me. I'm surprisingly cordial.
The cordialist.
She replies again and says, it's all right. I'll figure it out. It really is okay. You sweet summer child. You can't figure it out. It's not your job. It was my job. 25 minutes later, she texted me again. And fortunately for her, I'm a God-fearing man. I believe in forgiveness. I believe in helping those that need help. And she says, did you provide a code to redacted last week? Have you gotten any new ones today? It looks like we genuinely cannot get in without one of the unique codes being sent to your device. And even working with Instagram will not grant us access. You got Mr. John A. Instagram on the phone, and he wouldn't let you in your own account?
Oh, boo-hoo.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Obviously, I'm having tons of fun yesterday. I'm having tons of fun right now, just thinking about how badly these people need me to rescue this Instagram account that only has 1,200 followers, by the way. I just think it's fascinating that these people were so ready to go in this new direction, but this new direction can't get them into their own Instagram account. I thought they were going to have my job absorbed by another person, have it be a part-time job. If it was a part-time job, they probably should have just let me keep doing it, but that's fine. I thought my job was going to get taken by AI, but it turns out that all the people in this upper management are incapable of getting access to their Instagram account without the person whose career they just ended. And I just think it's beautiful. Now listen, I decided to help homegirl out, okay? We get on the phone, we chop it up for a bit, and I'm not gonna lie. Do I continue to clown on the people that are higher up in her company a little bit? Of course. I had to ask her just how many people are involved trying to resolve this issue. I need to know before we move forward. She says she's been on it. She says Jeffrey's been on it. Jeffrey's girl's been on it. M has been on it. They even informed the HR personnel. All these people cannot solve this problem. They need me. And I just think, what an incredible way to wrap the story. Now we're on the phone together and I give her the code as it pops up so she can get into their company's Instagram account. They should have just deleted it, by the way. It's really not that great. Like 1,200 followers is just not that many to have to go through the struggle of bargaining with me in order to get the account back. Some of you might think I should have held it hostage. I should have ignored them. I should have blocked them. Here's the thing. One, I still got one more check coming. Two, I don't have any hate in my heart for my former boss. I truly think she's a good person that's in an awful situation to be in. For me, I would feel so much immeasurable shame if they were like, yeah, we need you to reach out to Derek so we can get back into this Instagram. I'd be like, fuck.
No, thank you.
You can't just cook this kid and then hit him up a week later and be like, nah, dog, we need you. But I believe in karma in a way, and I helped her out, right? Let this be a lesson. These companies only care about you as long as they can get something out of you. They showed me how much they cared about me by cooking me with no notice, admitting there was no wrongdoing, and giving me no severance despite me having a salaried position. They literally said the only reason they were getting rid of me is because they were going in a different direction. Where does that work anywhere besides a whack-ass company? Imagine you try to break up with your girl or your man, and they're like, how could you do this to me? I thought we had this great respect for each other. We've been together so long. And you're like, I'm going in a different direction. And then imagine they hit you up a week later like, hey, actually, could we kick it like one or two more times? I forgot about something that I need from you. Most people would tell them to kick rocks. I am a little bit better than that. So my job was a social media specialist. I woke up to news that my career was just cooked last Wednesday, December 11th. I got no notice. They gave me no reason for letting me go besides that they were going in a new direction. Update, the direction was wonky from the jump, but turned out to just be a circle. Because 2 days ago, on December 18th, my old boss reached out to me. We'll call her A. Her and I have a pretty cordial relationship. We're still cool. She cannot access our company's Instagram without my help, or the TikTok, but that's besides the point. The reason why she can't do this is because I set up two-factor authentication on these applications, because why wouldn't I? It's my company's account. I want to make sure that nobody's logging into it but me unless I'm notified. Now, hilariously, nobody thought about any of this stuff when they were cooking my livelihood, and they literally gave me until Saturday. They told me on Wednesday I was done, and they said Saturday could be my last day. Now, I don't want to forget something. On Wednesday, when I woke up in the morning and realized I was being logged out of everything, I texted the CEO of the company. We're going to call him M. And M and I had a very, very interesting little exchange that I'm going to share with you now. The morning I realized I couldn't log into anything, and I didn't know it's because I was being let go with no notice and no severance from my salary position, I texted the CEO of our company, the man that created the job. And I'm very cordial when I say, hey, M, text or call me back ASAP. In case you weren't already aware, we may have some type of security issue. I reached out to A, I reached out to Jeffrey, and I'm not getting anything. He responds, hey, no problem. We'll call in a bit. No security issue. Having Jeffrey get into the social media accounts. Can you approve login on your device? And I say, oh, okay, of course. I've approved it. Now, this will matter later because I want you to remember what M said in this message. No problem, which isn't true because I was getting let go that day, and we'll call in a bit. He never called! He did not call until this morning. Now, as I mentioned last episode, I'm a God-fearing man. And furthermore, these people still owe me money. I'm supposed to receive my last check next week. And I never had any problems with A, so a couple of days ago, I help her get in the Instagram, we work out the TikTok thing, and I think it's finally laid to rest. It's ridiculous, it's silly, but it's over, right?
You thought wrong.
Now that we're caught up at 3 minutes and 30 seconds into this show, let's get to this morning, because this is where things just get completely unhinged. I get up this morning, I do my push-ups, I do my stretches, I'm about to hop on some Xbox, it's 7:36 a.m. I see someone trying to log into my work email, which I haven't looked at in days because why would I? The only reason I still have the Outlook app on my phone for my work email is because I'm expecting these people to send me proof that my insurance is ending so I can get on my wife's insurance, you know, stupid adult stuff, right? But I see somebody trying to log in at 7:36 a.m. and it's not me. So I text my ex-boss, A, and I'm like, hey, who's trying to log into my account? And she responds like this. Did you add your Outlook to the Authenticator app too? I think M is trying to disable your email. He just texted me that it was asking for a code. Now, what really bothers me about this exchange is that this is the man that said he would call me in a bit 9 days ago. And now he is personally going in to disable my account. First of all, the work sounds like it's beneath him. So like maybe he takes some sick satisfaction in being the one to get into my account and turn it off. But that's besides the point because he can't. I'm never trying to be dishonest. So I text back A and I'm like, of course. Well, I need some paperwork that says I was terminated and proof I'm losing insurance or my wife is going to box me, which is true. She asks me every day, when are you going to get proof that your insurance is ending so I can add you to mine? And I say, I ask these kind people every day, but you have to remember, these aren't serious people that we're dealing with, okay? A responds to me, good old boss of mine, former boss, and she says, I will follow up with her again today. Okay. I reply with this, which sets somebody off. With all due respect, can't let the big guy in until we're kind of done with the transition, you feel me? Kind of hard to get unemployment when there's no proof I was let go. Can't get new insurance without proof I'm losing it. Since M is up trying to log into my email, maybe he can get L up too. With peace and love, I say. Because I don't want to give A the impression that I am not being cooperative. All I'm saying is, we're up at the crack of ass dawn trying to disable my work email, which, how is it taken so long to even try to do this, by the way? We're trying to disable my work email before anybody has even admitted outside of Zoom call that my job doesn't exist anymore. Like, what is this? Also, why is this man so afraid to call me? Why can't he just talk to me? But I didn't realize that it would only be a few minutes after I sent this message with peace and love that Big M, the CEO himself, is calling me
Early in the wee hours of the day.
Now, I'm not going to hold y'all, and I hope he listens to this. When he first calls, I just stare at it, and I just let it ring out. And he has the audacity to text me immediately after I missed the call. And he says, call me immediately. Who are you talking to right now? I am not an employee at your company. And what do you mean, call me immediately? Dog, you were supposed to call me 9 days ago. What is actually good? This can't be real. The nerve, the unmitigated gall to hit me at 7:43 a.m. and tell me to call you immediately.
Wing wong.
I just love the message. I gave it the heart reaction. I love it. I love that you need me right now. Please, I need to get into your work email to disable it. What am I to do? I'm the CEO of a company. I have all these people working for me and I just can't get access. So I call him back because I'm ready. And I'm like, what up? This man's like, Derek, are you intentionally withholding company material from us? And I'm like, no, not really. And my brother starts going off about how I'm making A's job so hard. And I have 4 or 5 people running around trying to resolve this, and I'm wasting everybody's time. This man called me childish because they don't know how to work Instagram. They don't know how to work 2-factor authentication. They didn't think about this stuff a week ago. And he's actually pissed off, hollering at me after ghosting me for the past week and a half. And I tell him, I'm like, yo, I feel like we could have got this resolved quicker. Like, you said you would call me in a bit. This man said, I told you I would call you later.
Boy, if you don't get...
Huh? Later? It's been 9 days.
9.
People would die of starvation in the time that you're saying is later. What do you mean? What's crazy about this is he calls and he's on fire mad. He starts talking about taking action against me. He says that he used the phrase quid pro quo. He's like, we have you on record in text messages documented you saying that you're not going to cooperate with us unless we give you this paperwork that isn't required, by the way. This man says you had a good reference in A. You had a good reference with me. We paid you out for the rest of the week. We gave you notice. And at this point, I have muted the call because I am crying, laughing. This man wants credit. He wants credit for cooking me right before Christmas, didn't actually give me notice, gave me no severance, and decided that the transition process was me mourning for like 3 days. Didn't think about getting access to the accounts at all until a week later when I guess he had nothing else to do. And now he's throwing the fact that I might not get a good reference in my face.
Wait, what about your next job?
Bitch, I got the derps. I don't need a reference from you bozos. I wouldn't want one anyways. Why would I put you down as a reference when you let me go with no cause? Why would I expect you to pick up the phone? We haven't talked in 9 days. Now, I try to explain to him the concept of lying and how telling somebody that you'll call them in a bit and then not calling them for 9 days until you need them is kind of a weird thing to do. And he completely neglects the fact that he's been just avoiding me for the past week and a half until they needed access to my work account so that they could like log into other social medias with two-factor whatever. It's like, dude, it's you guys' fault for setting up a system where work emails can't be deactivated unless you're logged into them. Like, and if that was the case, why didn't you tell me that when I was still on the clock? It doesn't make any sense. It's so silly. Now, bro literally started the call and ended the call on the same type of energy. He said, here's what's going to happen. You are going to cooperate with A. She's going to call you, you're going to give her the code, and you're going to give us access to your work email. And it's like, I almost want to say no off principle because you talking to me like you my fucking dad or something. Like, calm down, big. Like, you are not about to lil bro me when you have no leverage. Dude's talking about how you can't just hoard access to company materials. Also, this spans up across state lines. He either said the word felony or he said federal. But the gist of it was this man was trying to threaten me with legal action over a work email.
He said so.
I'm gonna sue. I'm gonna sue.
Lock in. Actually listen to yourself right now. This man has no idea the favors I have done for these people. I haven't dropped their names. I haven't talked about the name of the company, all because I'm trying to get half a check, okay? I could have been gone scorched earth on you hoes, but I was just being nice. But now you over here trying to put me in my place? Boom-ba-clap. Now this call ends with me being like, yeah, dude, I'll help her out. It's really not that big of a deal. And then he hangs up, right? Now, I think at some point within an hour of him hollering at me, he woke up for real. Maybe he hadn't had his coffee yet. Maybe he had indigestion. Maybe his kids are pissing him off. I don't know. But HR gets in touch with me and they're like, hey, so here's that stuff you asked for. Here's that paperwork. And also, it's occurred to us that you've been doing some work for us this past week.
I know a guy.
How about you let us know how many hours you put in, work with A, and we'll make sure to compensate you for that. And I'm like, I think that's fair. What's crazy is I wasn't even asking for that, but it is the right thing for them to do. It's just crazy that not all that long ago, I was getting hollered at talking about how I might get taken to court or sued or something over a work email. And now y'all are hitting me with these sweet ass emails like, you know, you've been working pretty hard. Maybe we should pay you a little bit more. All right, bro. All right. I blocked him, by the way, because you are not about to blow up my spot on some foo-foo ass funny shit like that again. I have never been spoken to this way. I am appalled and offended.
I'm gonna sue.
But I'm more entertained than anything because it's crazy that somebody that is literally at the very top of this company, this man's got to have stacked multiple M's throughout his life, and is literally up at the crack of dawn hollering at an ex-employee over two-factor authentication in a work email, bro. You cannot make this shit up. I just wanted to give y'all an update, man. I don't even have anything else to say. I'm going live tonight, and I might yap a little bit more about it, but I'm really just trying to move forward, man. Like, leave me alone, bro. Y'all are the worst ex I've ever had, man. Y'all can't just lay somebody off and leave them alone, man. Before I go, I just want to shout out the biggest derps, because the only reason I'm able to get out here and talk crazy like this and make YouTube my main goal, my main mission moving forward is because of the people that support the show on this tier. So shout out the biggest derps.
Shout out to Myra C, Lucas C, Tim Van Soxum, FDRWC, Awesome Amy, Derapy Naz, Shaggy's World 999, Mytel, Shy Dynasty, Tim Padilla, Buddy Core, Serge, Alexander Morales, Nick Marquez, Gareth Gorgeous, High 3, Colin Asada, Taco, Clayton Anderson, Amy Schultegger, Zion Marshall, Tian Mer, Ivy Levius, and Chino.
Hope you all enjoyed this supercut. Love you. Mean it. Enjoy the outro. I'm the hardest worker I know. Putting all this work, not knowing if I'm ever gonna blow. Getting redundant, I know. Talking about grinding, man, we get it. Keep working, it'll show. I got a friend named Kenzie, and I love her, but she called it a hobby. That did the opposite to stop me. 5'6", but Derapy still will grow. Babe said take a day off. I say no way. Never come off the clock. Not throwing away my shot. Won't get blocked. On the way to the top. Gotta take it up a notch. Turn my mic up. Chiller, you get popped. No time to talk shop. I got things to do. I'm on the go. Man, I gotta take it slow. Begging me to switch the flow. I've been putting hours in. I'm a nerd about the show. You've been slacking and it shows. I'm obsessed, not too ashamed. I'm the master of this game. Y'all are dragging, I am slaying. I'm just saying I'm going in. No, I'm not tiptoeing in. Closer than I ever thought I'd be, and I'm not blowing it. 7 months and 90 episodes I did for free. All produced by Derek B. Done with all that charity. It's season.
You really thought we were finished? We're not going anywhere. We're just getting started, baby. It's season 3 of Derapy. Let's go.
Yeah. 11 years old, getting bullied about the glasses. I used to be afraid to get caught lacking between the classes. And in high school, I was trying to impress the girls and they were laughing. But you gotta remember who's laughing with you and who's laughing. Wait, talking about being popular back in grade school, that's lame as hell. If I ever do it again, then I swear to God, just kick my tail. I should not be swearing. My mom's a God-fearing woman and I fear the man upstairs too, but he's cool with what I've been cooking. And of course, yeah, it's all up in the name of him, not blaming him for nothing in my childhood. Cause nowadays, I got no real complaints and I've been smiling good. Never had to worry about the struggle of coming up out the hood. Cause now I just gotta be the man I promised Spice I said I would be. Going crazy on the beat like it's some bongos and I'm Donkey Kong. I'm my own boss, so don't you tell me what I'm doing wrong. I'm feeling right like the Sprite with a little bit of strawberry. I'm hard-bellied, wanna get rid of the gut, but like the hard seltzy. Look, I love my